James Watt, engineer and inventor, whose development of the steam engine revolutionised the world of industry. James Watt, you're described as an inventor known for your improvements to the steam engine. However, are you truly an inventor in your own right, or do you simply take other people's inventions and tinker with them?
I am many things. To trade, I'm a maker of instruments, both mathematical and musical, in addition to my work as a surveyor on various canal projects. I am also a mechanical engineer, and have indeed modified many existing devices to improve their efficiency. But to challenge your remark about my lack of invention, I would refer you to His Majesty's records, where you will find numerous patents granted for my new inventions. In particular, the separate condenser, which has revolutionized the steam engine. And it is from this that my fame, as you would call it, chiefly springs.
You claim to have improved the efficiency of the steam engine through your invention of the separate condenser. This is all Greek to me. Unfortunately, I'm not Greek. Are you able to explain this in simple terms?
I certainly am. The separate condenser, and my use of it in the steam engine, has revolutionized the industrial world. It was whilst working at the University of Glasgow, I was asked to solve the problem of the steam engine of the Newcomen pump. It required enormous amounts of steam to work, and always broke down after a short time, making it very inefficient and unreliable. This became an obsession with me. It soon became obvious that the vast quantities of steam were required because the cylinder had to be cooled after every single stroke of the pump and then reheated. The regular breakdowns were due to the fact that the boiler was too small to actually reheat the cylinder so frequently. What was required was a vacuum in which to condense the steam without the need to cool the cylinder after every stroke. The separate condenser which I invented created this vacuum, making the engine more efficient, more economic, more reliable, and more powerful.
Following your invention of the separate condenser, it would be 11 years before you saw it at work on a steam engine. Dare I ask, what on earth were you doing for 11 years?
Such progress does not happen overnight. I was delayed by certain legal and financial setbacks out with my control. Firstly, I had to search for a financial backer for what was a very expensive project. Thankfully, Mr. John Roebuck put his faith in my work. Then I had to build a large engine, which worked well enough to allow me to apply for a patent. This, of course, also takes time, as patents can only be granted by an Act of Parliament. I also needed facilities to develop the engine. Mr. Matthew Bolton, seeing its potential, offered these facilities, confident that he could sell my engine on a large scale. However, he and Mr. Roebuck were unable to agree business terms, and the project was delayed for 8 years until the bankruptcy of Mr. Roebuck, when Mr. Bolton acquired his rights to the engine, and work was eventually able to restart. Yes, I owe a great debt to Mr. Bolton. Without his faith and his patience, the Bolton Watt steam engine would never have seen the light of day, outperforming the old Newcomen engine 5 times over.
You admit that your invention would never have seen the light of day without the input of Mr. Bolton. Does he not then deserve equal credit for the success of your invention?
Mr. Bolton and I know where the true credit for this venture lies and are happy in our relationship. I am the artist and take credit for its creation. He is the businessman and takes credit for its production. He is that rare creature, an industrialist with a vision beyond simply profit. Unlike other industries, whereby individual craftsmen all work separately, Mr. Bolton gathers together the best equipment and the finest workers all under the one roof, which he calls his manufactory. My engine, therefore, had immediate access to the finest iron workers in the world. Mr. Bolton's manufactory provided me with expertise which had been lacking in my partnership with Mr. Roebuck. It was Mr. Bolton's desire to hire the finest workers that enabled the success of our project.
So, do you believe that your steam engine is the perfect piece of industrial machinery, having eliminated all the problems with previous steam engines?
Not quite. My engine did overcome the main problems experienced by earlier engines, but nothing is perfect, and I'm a passionate believer there is always room for improvement. As Sir Walter Scott himself suggests, what the mechanic is almost as important as what the inventor, as I have continued to modify my invention. My development of the compound engine has increased its power. I then added a throttle valve to control this power, a centrifugal governor to stop it running away, and a pressure gauge for the cylinder, as well as other improvements which make for easier manufacture and installation. This constant development has resulted in my engine being 5 times as efficient as the original Newcomen engine.
You claim that your steam engine has revolutionized power and in fact changed the world. How?
Steam is in the process of revolutionizing industry. At this moment, my engines are being used in ships, locomotives, mines, cotton mills, flour mills, wool mills, anywhere power is required. Let me give you an example. We supplied a Bolt & Watt steam engine to a sawmill to undertake work previously carried out by 12 horses. Now, I calculated that 1 horse had the strength to pull 33,000 pounds, a distance of 1 foot in 1 minute. This strength I refer to as horsepower. My engine has the power of 26,000 horses. Now, I'm reluctant to blow my own trumpet, so allow me once again to quote Sir Walter Scott. Mr. Watt has discovered the means of multiplying our national resources to a degree even beyond his own stupendous powers of calculation.
When you depart this world, what will you have left behind? What will be the legacy of James Watt?
As an inventor and an engineer, I have created and improved countless devices which enhance our daily lives. But I firmly believe that I will be rightly remembered for my achievements in harnessing the power of steam, which in turn is driving our industrial revolution, changing the world for the better and for all time. I have made the steam engine safer, more economic, more efficient, stronger. What I sell is what all the world desires to have.